The Cotton Field and the Human Body, A Lesson in Lifestyle Medicine Part 1, number 1720, July 19, 2026, Gerald C. EclaireMD Foundation, Category Glucose and Medication. Preface. Today, I watched a YouTube program about a woman who inherited her late father's dying cotton farm. Before he passed away, her father left behind detailed journals documenting his lifetime of caring for the soil and cultivating cotton. Those journals inspired her to pursue a very different approach from conventional farming. Instead of purchasing more chemical fertilizer, she used her life insurance money to buy tilapia and a small water pump. She stocked the fish in a polluted, nearly lifeless pond and used the pump to circulate water continuously between the pond and the cotton fields. Over the next 3 to 5 years, the fish, microorganisms, organic nutrients, and circulating water gradually restored the exhausted soil. The once dying farmland was transformed into a highly productive and profitable cotton field. Whether every detail of this story is historically accurate is not important. What matters is the principle behind it. I am neither an agricultural specialist nor a chemist. My background in chemistry extends only to the first-year college level. As I listened to the story, I suddenly realized that I have spent the past 17 years doing something remarkably similar with my own body health and diseases. In many ways, I am like the young woman in this story. I have learned to treat my body as if it were that exhausted cotton field, rather than relying primarily on chemical compounds, such as medications, to force better laboratory numbers. I have tried to restore my body's underlying natural biological and environment balance through a lifestyle medicine approach: food portion, healthy nutrition, regular and persistent exercise, adequate and quality sleep, stress reduction through emotional control, proper hydration, and other natural daily habits. To me, these lifestyle interventions resemble the circulating water, the fish, the beneficial microorganisms, and the natural biological recycling system that gradually restored the farmland. In her story, the land required approximately 3 to 7 years to recover. Amazingly, in my own experience, my body also required about 3 to 8 years to recover, beginning in 2010. With the first signs of improvement appearing around 2013 and the recovery becoming clearly established by 2018. Medications certainly have an important role, especially during acute illness and medical emergencies, but I have come to regard them primarily as supportive tools rather than the principal foundation of long-term health. This article explores these two seemingly different stories: the restoration of an exhausted cotton field and the restoration of human health. Although one belongs to agriculture land and the other to human medicine, both illustrate the same fundamental principle. Living systems achieve their greatest long-term resilience not by forcing them with increasing chemical inputs, but by understanding, respecting, and restoring the biological processes that allow them to heal themselves. I have included the YouTube link below for interested readers who will wish to watch the video. https YouTube, B says Gaitzrig, C equals B Bexty 7x6 EP3. Introduction. This simple farming story also reminded me how a medical research idea can be born. Rather than beginning with a medical theory, I first observed a real phenomenon in agriculture, recognized its underlying systems principle, and then asked whether the same principle might also apply to the human body. That process led me to explore the similarities between soil chemistry, human pathophysiology, pharmacology, and lifestyle medicine. Whether these similarities ultimately prove useful is for readers to judge. But the journey itself demonstrates how valuable cross-disciplinary thinking can be in generating some useful new scientific ideas. The YouTube story is summarized below. Some details may differ from my recollection, and I cannot verify that every aspect of the story is factually accurate. However, that is not the main point. What truly matters is the wisdom and insight the story conveys. In 1971, Della Marsh inherited 300 acres of exhausted cotton land from her late father. After decades of continuous cotton production, the soil had become severely depleted. Most of its nutrients had long been consumed, organic matter had steadily declined, and the land had become increasingly dependent on chemical fertilizers simply to maintain production. Nearly everyone advised her to continue applying more chemicals because they believed that was the only practical solution. Instead, Della chose a different path. While reading her father's journals, she discovered a simple yet profound philosophy: healthy farmland should function as a living ecosystem rather than as a factory, instead of forcing higher production from exhausted soil. She converted part of the farm into a series of fish ponds connected to the irrigation system. She installed a small water pump that continuously circulated water between the ponds and the cotton fields. She borrowed money against her life insurance to purchase large numbers of live fish and stocked the ponds primarily with tilapia, allowing the fish, aquatic plants, microorganisms, and nutrient-rich sediments to form a natural nutrient recycling system. The fish themselves were never the primary objective. Their waste, together with decomposing aquatic plants, beneficial microorganisms, and nutrient-rich pond sediments, gradually restored the organic matter that decades of farming had removed. The circulating pond water carried dissolved nutrients throughout the fields, while dredged pond sediments periodically returned valuable organic material back to the soil. What had once been regarded as waste became the foundation for regeneration. People laughed at her. Fertilizer company representatives laughed at her. Neighboring farmers laughed at her. They believed she was wasting valuable farmland. Agricultural experts insisted she was abandoning modern scientific farming. During the first several years, only modest improvements were visible, reinforcing the widespread belief that her experiment had failed. But Della understood something that many others had overlooked. Living systems, either canned or human body, require time to heal. Nothing miraculous happened during the first year, nor during the second, yet she remained patient because she trusted the biological processes taking place beneath the surface. After 3 to 5 years, unmistakable signs of recovery began to appear. The soil gradually became darker, richer, and more resilient. Earthworms and beneficial microorganisms returned. Water infiltrated more efficiently. Cotton roots penetrated deeper into the ground. Organic matter steadily increased. Within 5 to 7 years, the transformation became obvious to everyone. The once pale, nearly exhausted soil had become dark. Fertile farmland capable of producing healthier cotton with far less dependence on chemical fertilizers. The farm eventually became one of the most productive and profitable in the region. Meanwhile, many neighboring farms continued relying almost entirely on increasing amounts of chemical fertilizer. Initially, production remained acceptable. Eventually, however, the underlying health of their soil continued to deteriorate, requiring progressively greater chemical inputs while producing diminishing returns. Whether this story actually happened isn't important. What truly matters is the lesson it teaches. That lesson extends far beyond agriculture. It reaches into the way we understand the human body itself. The soil is like the human body. That story reminded me of something much more important. Without any formal training in agriculture, soil science, or chemistry, I began to see remarkable similarities between the soil and the human body. Healthy soil is alive. It contains minerals, organic matter, bacteria, fungi, insects, earthworms, water, air, and countless microscopic organisms working together as an integrated ecosystem. The soil is not simply dirt. It is a dynamic, self-regulating biological system whose health depends on the harmonious interaction of all of its components. The human body is remarkably complex. It contains trillions of cells, blood vessels, immune cells, mitochondria, hormones, beneficial gut microorganisms, water, electrolytes, and even countless other microbes. Health does not arise from any single organ or biochemical pathway. Rather, it emerges from the harmonious interaction of the entire biological system. Just as farmland cannot remain fertile if nutrients are continuously removed without being restored, the human body cannot remain healthy if it is continually stressed without adequate and balanced nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate biological recovery. Both are living ecosystems. Both require continuous renewal. Both depend on balanced cycles of nourishment, recycling, repair, adaptation, and regeneration. This farming story reminded me of my 17-year journey of self-learning biomedicine, including both disease pathology and health physiology. The small water pump reminded me of the human circulatory system, including the heart CVD, kidney CKD, blood vessels, and nerves. The vascular and nervous systems are analogous to the water channels on a farm, distributing essential substances and information throughout the body. In the cotton field, the pump continuously circulated water, carrying dissolved nutrients throughout the land. Without that circulation, even nutrient-rich water would remain localized, and much of the farmland would receive little benefit. The same principle applies to the human body. Blood continuously transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones, immunocells, and metabolic waste throughout the body. Regular physical activity strengthens this circulation. Just as the pump continuously circulated water throughout the farmland, walking and daily exercise are not merely methods for burning calories, they improve nutrient delivery, remove metabolic waste products, support vascular function, maintain healthy endothelial function, and help preserve the health of every organ. Just as irrigation nourishes every corner of a cotton field, good circulation nourishes every cell in the body. The fish represent another equally important lesson. The fish themselves were never the real objective. Their waste was. At first glance, fish waste appears to be pollution. In reality, it became the source of new fertility. Beneficial microorganisms transformed that waste into nutrients capable of rebuilding exhausted soil. What many people considered useless became the very material that restored the land. Healthy nutrition functions in much the same way. Right food is much more than pure calories. Fresh vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, healthy fats, adequate protein, vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber nourish not only our own cells but also the trillions of beneficial microorganisms living within our intestines. These microorganisms digest components of food that human cells cannot digest by themselves. In return, they produce countless beneficial metabolites that regulate immune function, reduce chronic inflammation, maintain the intestinal barrier, influence metabolism, and support the body's normal physiological functions, just as the microorganisms within the pond continuously restored the biological quality of the soil. Our gut microbiome continuously helps restore and maintain the body's internal biological environment. Healthy nutrition, therefore, is not simply feeding ourselves. It is also feeding the living ecosystem within us. Sleep provides another remarkable parallel. During sleep, the brain removes accumulated metabolic waste through the body's natural housekeeping system. Hormones rebalance, memory is consolidated, immune function is restored, and cells recover from the accumulated stresses of the day. Sleep is one of the body's most important periods of biological maintenance and regeneration. Likewise, farmland also requires time to recover. Soil cannot remain productive if it is continually exploited without allowing natural biological restoration to occur. Recovery is not a luxury for either farmland or the human body. It is an essential component of long-term health. Stress management may be one of the most underappreciated forms of lifestyle medicine. Chronic psychological stress persistently activates the sympathetic nervous system, raising blood pressure, increasing stress hormones, promoting chronic inflammation, and gradually damaging the body's internal biological environment. Conversely, emotional calmness, controlled breathing, meditation, meaningful relationships, gratitude, and inner peace help restore autonomic balance and create physiological conditions that favor healing. In my own case, an acute hypertension episode triggered by emotional stress led to my hemorrhagic stroke. Above explanation also resembles maintaining a stable irrigation system instead of repeatedly exposing farmland to cycles of drought and flood. Hydration provides another parallel. Just as irrigation sustains farmland, water sustains the human body by supporting nutrient transport, waste removal, and normal physiological function. Without adequate water, neither fertile farmland nor the human body can survive. Viewed together, these lifestyle factors, healthy nutrition, regular exercise, adequate sleep, stress reduction, proper hydration, and a healthy microbiome are analogous to the circulating water, the small pump, the fish, the microorganisms, and the natural biological recycling system within the ponds. They do not force the system, they restore the system. This realization profoundly enhanced my philosophy of medicine. For the past 17 years, I have devoted myself to understanding my own body through continuous observation, measurement, and self-study. Looking back, I now realize that my primary objective has never been simply to lower blood glucose, reduce blood pressure, improve laboratory values, or achieve better numerical results. My real objective has always been to restore the underlying biological environment that allows the body to function as it was originally designed, just as Delamarche patiently restored exhausted farmland over several years. I have attempted to restore my own body's internal biological ecosystem through thousands of small daily decisions. No single meal, no single walk, no single night's sleep, and no single breathing exercise transforms the body overnight. However, the cumulative effects of those healthy habits gradually reshape my own body's pathophysiological operating environment. Just as years of natural nutrient recycling gradually transformed exhausted farmland into fertile soil, The biological principles are remarkably similar. Neither farmland nor the human body heals instantly. Both recover gradually. Both require patience. Both reward consistency. Most importantly, both farmland and human body respond far better to restoration than to force. That, in my opinion, is the deepest lesson hidden within this simple farming story. This is part 1.